Alright, you guys, so we're back with the Jeep. This is the second time that I take it to emissions and it fails. So the results, you guys, are it literally went down because this was at like 7.96, this was at like 68.11, it'll be at 20 to pass, and then the 1.6. That's still good, and then obviously the fuel cap passed because I just bought a new fuel cap. I noticed that it has like a slight miss to it. Like you guys remember though, the I did the spark plug wires, cap, rotor, fuel filter, and what else did I do? I think that's about it. I did clean a little bit the throttle body, but I'm gonna actually do a better job of it right now. All you have to do is take off the air filter lid, and then this part right here. So you literally pull this out. That's it for that one. You're gonna unclip it so we could pull off the lid. Then we can pull this up a little bit. And then right here you see has like a little clamp. All you do is pull up on this side and pull it to the right, and you heard that, and it's pretty much off. And all you need to do is pull it off. Let me see if maybe, oh, there we go. Wiggle it off, and now we lost that clamp, but it's all good. And there's your throttle body. So we're gonna clean this bad boy up again, and we're gonna go ahead and disconnect the battery, and so it could reset. And then we're gonna try this one more time. If not, I'm gonna take it all the way off and replace the gasket, but I'm gonna take off all the sensors and clean every little bit off. Right now what I'm just gonna clean off is the top. It will have a little bit of trouble starting because it has like carb cleaner and stuff in there, but I'm gonna do that real quick. Just spray some in there, open it up, open up the butterfly in there, and we should be good to go. Over here is your idle air control valve, and I believe down here is your TPMS. That's your map sensor. Obviously those can give you a couple rough issues. I'm gonna actually put this back on so you guys can see how it idles and I can show you what it's going on. Alright, we're in the Jeep. One thing I hate about videos on YouTube is when they don't show everything. I try to show as much nonsense as possible, but I want to see what I'm looking at, how I'm saying the car's idling rough. That way you guys can basically see if it's something that's the same as your guys's and same scenario, and see if my stuff works to fix what you're having. But so just check out the RPM and turn it on. Okay, so the problem I'm having is so right now it's idling pretty good. That's where it probably should be at, if not right at 1. But let's give it some gas and see if it changes. Alright, see there, it's going down slowly. So it goes down to like about the bottom of that smaller line, and then it'll fluctuate through there. As you can hear right now, I'll be quiet so you guys can listen to it. See? Once it gets warm though, it definitely goes down. This is a cold start too. Trying to hold it as see. Trying to hold it as still as possible. It's where it needs to be at. And then it'll start dropping, dropping. I just put it in gear and see if it feels different. Yeah, so it'll go a little bit under that where it's at right now, like right above that little line before the 0. And then it's like if once it gets warmed up, it wants to die. It doesn't die, but it really pretty much is almost close to dying. So, I mean, I have gas. The temperature, of course, right now is cold. Oil pressure, it's at 40. That's just at idle. And the battery, I did see this fluctuating a little bit, but come on, focus. Nothing too crazy. See, it like drops down all of a sudden, and it'll drop down further and further once it gets warm. Alright, so another thing I saw too is we are going to disconnect, what was it, the negative? I'll just disconnect the positive. Supposedly so it could reset. I'm going to clean that, and then we'll get back to it and try it again after it sits without the battery post on for just about just 10 minutes or something like that. Then I'm going to try it again and see if it works. If not, I'm going to disconnect the map sensor and see if that works. Then we know that might be the issue. If you see a change in idle. Also, I just thought about this. Maybe the what is it? The PCV? Is it PCV? PVC? PCV, I'm pretty sure. I'm getting confused with Home Depot. Let's see, and then so I'm gonna check that. I already have a gasket for it on the way, but we're probably just gonna try and clean it real quick and seeing if that fixes it. I'm gonna take the idle air control valve. I'm sure that's gunky, and I'll show you guys hopefully what I find. So I got it off. I don't think this is OEM. I'm pretty sure this is like an O'Reilly's one. The Torx bit I used was a, doesn't even say, but it's not fairly big. That's what I had to use to get off these 2 bolts. And it doesn't look very dirty as much as I was hoping, so we could clean it up and then put it back in. So I'm just gonna spray, clean it, and then do the same thing to that, and then I'll put it back all together. We're going to let it start up for a little bit and see if it idles a little bit differently now. Alright, let it sit for a little bit, put the battery cable back on. Now we're going to go ahead and restart this thing and see if there is absolutely any changes on the supposed reset on how to reprogram the idle air control valve. Since I unplugged it and cleaned that whole deal. I did this last time because I was cleaning it. Might run rough just because of the cleaner. Let's make sure that carb cleaner's off over there. See if this thing moves, you guys. hate how it doesn't autofocus. Oh, nope, still going down. Come on. Oh, see, it was just about to drop down really bad. So there's the little line. It's basically in between the 1 and that half line before the 0. Watch it drop down. Yep, see, that's where it was at. Or a little bit lower, but nope, we still got the same situation. Still pretty much about where it was at. So that's about where it's at. Let's see if we could find any leaks. We see a change in the idle. We see a change in the idle. That means we found something, but let's try what I was gonna say I was gonna try. I think that's how it's supposed to idle. Yeah, see, that's where it's supposed to idle. It might be even the freaking map sensor. Let's connect that back and see what happens. See, now it sounds way better. It still sounds like slight, bro. So it sounds a little bit higher idle, but oh, see, it's literally about to die. Now we got the check engine light on just because I pulled that off. I do hear a slight little knock. I don't know where that's coming from though. What you could always do is get a hose and put it up to your ear and close to the engine to hear, so that way you're not like super close to it and you can kind of listen. But I want to say it's one of these pulleys. Let me try that again though. Alright, I'm gonna plug that back in, take off the battery again, let it sit for like 10 minutes, and then plug it back in and see what that does. If not, we might have a faulty map sensor. Alright guys, so I did that, what I was gonna do before, and it didn't end up doing anything. I'm pretty sure it's either the map sensor or the throttle body, because when I started messing with it, it seemed like it wanted to idle correctly. So I don't think it might not be the map sensor, it might be where that little vacuum line goes into the throttle body. So I'm going to take it off real quick. We're going to clean it, and we're going to change the gasket on the bottom, which I'm pretty sure is not it, but I think it's a one-time use. Another thing that I thought about was obviously replacing the map sensor. So I went to O'Reilly's already. We bought that. We bought the gasket. And I also got a thermostat and a oil filter because the oil is obviously old. I might do the oil change real quick. Not that I really think it's going to help dramatically, but we might do that. I do have some oil around here somewhere, I believe, hopefully, so we can change it with that. But I'm going to go ahead and take that off. Same thing, and I think it's held on by 4 bolts, and then it has 2 connectors, which is the TPMS back here, and then the idle air control valve over here, and then some vacuum lines over here. So we're going to check that out and hopefully get this thing idling right. And I'm hoping it's not the map sensor, because that was like $70, so then I could just return that, and it's probably not going to be any different. But yeah, let's get started.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
Alright guys, so we did the throttle body gasket. We cleaned out a little bit on the inside of the intake while everything was off, and we cleaned where the throttle position sensor is. We cleaned where the idle air control valve is, and we cleaned the whole throttle body. I also took the PCV valve off, and then took that off and then cleaned it out because it had like a little bit of oil in there. So who knows if that was causing any issues. Those are pretty cheap. You could buy one for like $5 probably, I'm sure, and the gasket was like $4 when I got it. So All I need to do is tighten down the clamp here on the intake hose, and then we're gonna go ahead and start it up and see what happens. Everything is connected as it should. I disconnected the battery. We reconnected the battery. Now I just need to tighten this up, and then we should be good. Alright guys, so it's steady for the most part. What we're going to do now is I'm just going to do this off camera, but I have to fix there's an exhaust leak where we put the cat. I bought a new clamp because I had like a 3-inch clamp and then some the tape. I'm going to put the tape, the pipe, and then the clamp over it because it has like a little exhaust leak. Then hopefully we could take it to the emissions and we could see what happens. Alright you guys, at the end I made it to the emissions place right in time again to test it for the 3rd time, so hopefully it passes. I'll let you guys know what happened. I literally got here at 4:55 and they closed at 5 and they let me in. Alright you guys, so last minute news. I found out last minute that the Jeep did not need the map sensor after I put it on. I looked at the hose that the map sensor connects to, and it had a hole in it, probably from it touching like the exhaust. Where the hell is it now? Can't find it. I took off my glasses and now I can't find it. Oh, right at the bend. I don't think you guys will see that, but alright you guys, my camera is garbage. I can't show you guys exactly, but I have a little hole right here. It's kind of burnt off from probably the intake manifold getting too hot or touching the exhaust manifold, maybe just even rubbing. All I did was change it out with a new hose, just like a fuel hose, which I'm probably gonna go buy one right now that's actually like a plastic hose, and switch these out. But yeah, so that's all it ended up being. It idles now and it purrs like a kitten. I even fixed the exhaust leak on the cat. It sounds a little bit better. It doesn't sound as rough like it did before. Still debating if I'm going to take the cat off and then just straight pipe it. I don't think so. It's a Jeep. It's a 4-cylinder. Who cares? I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm sure if I take off the cat, it's going to cause issues later on, and I don't want to go through the headache. But I will turn it on for you guys so you guys can see it. And it does idle now. It does idle now, but it's at a very low RPM, which I believe I was reading mixed things about the 2.5s, and I was reading that they were supposed to be about either 1,000 RPM or a little bit under, and some people were saying like 1,100. So mine idles at a little bit under, which I think it was saying 700, 800 was the range that it was supposed to be at. I don't even think it's at that, but let's turn it on so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Oh shoot, what did I do with the keys, you guys? The keys. And when I put the new one on, the check engine light stayed on. It would literally go from 1,000 RPM to 0, and then the check engine light would come on, and then it would idle perfectly, but it's not what we wanted. I think it's too bright now today. Oh, I'm hating my camera today, you guys. It's not working with me at all. I think it's because of this too. Oh, there we go. So let me see if this helps. Alright, but basically you guys, it's idling at like a little bit right under 1,000, if you guys can see that. I think I need a new camera because it's starting to go out. Like you can see this brightness back here. It's supposed to be on autofocus, and it doesn't. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, as you guys can hear, it still has like a little slight mist to it, but it's not as bad as it was before. So that's definitely good. And before it would go down, and it would go like back up, and then go down and go back up. So this is the hose. It basically goes. This one goes to the throttle body, like right under the throttle body on the intake. It's the one that's furthest to the right, and your mass airflow sensor is usually right here. If you guys saw a little bit before this next take in this video, I have mine right here right now because the hose that I put on, it was very short, but I found out that that was the problem, so I just zip tied it right there and put it on, and now it's all golden. But yeah, I was trying to trace all the vacuum lines. So this is one. This is one, I believe. This is another one. Obviously, this one goes to the intake, which technically is a vacuum line because it ends up going, the intake tube goes to the throttle body. That hose that I was telling you guys of the mass airflow sensor, this one goes right next to it. Doesn't really do anything. All I did was plug it up with a screw. And then the mass airflow just put it right there. But like how I said, I am going to put it back together where it should be, and get a nicer hose like this one just to fix it. That way it doesn't look that Mickey Mouse, I guess you could say. But yeah, that ended up fixing it. I don't know where the hose was routed from, but I think it was going down through here, and then it was rubbing against the intake manifold that kind of goes right here. It curves. And I think it was going down, and then it kind of goes through the back of here, and then it goes up here into the little bracket where the mass airflow. So that was the whole issue that was giving me all the problems. And the guy told me that it could be a lot of things, but the last time, oh no, there's another book. Oh, I just threw it away. So they gave me a booklet, and it showed me a bunch of things that it could possibly be, at least for Arizona here. I just want to show you guys because this might help you guys too. But so mine was failing the hydrocarbons and then the carbon oxides, I think it's called, the HC and the CO. If they're fixing together, basically it could be ignition system, could be spark plug wires, distributor cap and rotor, I believe that's it, and then catalytic converter. The catalytic converter is getting like air or something, the vacuum leaks causing a misfire, intake manifold, EGR, and then separate components and vacuum fittings. And then it says replace as repairs as needed. And yeah, so pretty much it could be a lot of those things. And then on the top here, it says there also could be a canister purge system, carburetor malfunction, or a throttle body malfunction, and then engine fuel control, like probably like a fuel pressure regulator, I'm assuming. It says actuator, CPU, and then improper engine coolant mix, improper or malfunctioning thermostat could also cause problems, if you might not know, which I actually bought a thermostat and an oil filter because I was going to do the oil and the thermostat, but I didn't have time, and once I figured out exactly what it was going to be, I was just like, screw it, I need to hurry up and get there, and I made it. I literally made it 4 minutes before closing. It was like, I think 4:56. They closed at 5. I hate being the last person to anywhere. I always say this in my videos and everything, especially when I go to like O'Reilly's and stuff, but they let me in. I don't think they were too happy about me being there. And then the card machine wasn't working, and they were asking me if I had cash. I was like, I don't have no cash. All I have is a card. And then they were asking me if I had the old paper, which I didn't bring because I was rushing out the door. And then they were like, "Oh, come on, man, you didn't bring the paper." I'm like, "No." So at least we finally got the card reader on the third try, just like the Jeep passing on the third try. And 3 seems to be the lucky number. But you guys, I just want to make this video so you guys can see all the issues I had to help you guys out. Hopefully that'll help. So vacuums, and then before I did that, I checked that. I also did the spark plug wires, cap, rotor, and then that was probably, I spent like about like $50 on just that stuff, you guys. So the mass airflow sensor, if it was gonna be that, it was gonna be like another $70. So I'm probably gonna keep the other one just in case, but that's about $70. The gasket for the throttle body was like $4. It's all really inexpensive stuff. It's just a lot of time consuming. So definitely check all those things. Like I said, clean out the idle air control valve, clean out the throttle position sensor area. If not, it could be that also. Like how I said, try disconnecting the stuff and seeing if it runs better. If it runs better, it might be because it's malfunctioning, the actual sensor itself. If not, definitely check for vacuums. I learned my lesson on this one, you guys. So hopefully this video helped you guys, but thank you guys for watching. The Jeep finally passed. I'm very happy about that, and thank you to all my new subscribers. We're close to hitting 1,000, you guys, so definitely like and subscribe the video, so I will be coming out with a lot more things for you guys in store. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.